Hey everybody, Ron here. Happy Labor Day to you folks in the U.S. And if you're not in the U.S., happy Monday. I'm sitting here. I actually have a little bit of a cold, so I couldn't go to the board game event that I wanted to go to. So instead, I'm here chilling in my office. And this is something I've been thinking about from time to time. And I've noticed that I have a number of books on my shelf that are sci-fi role-playing games. Do I need another sci-fi role-playing game? Well, apparently, I keep thinking so because I keep buying them. So I'm going to talk about a few of them. I think I have, what here? I have five physical books here that I'm going to show, and I'm going to talk about the games and what I like about it, at least reading it, and if I've played it, and what my impressions are about playing it, and then some thoughts to finish out. I want to start with my small books first. Scum and Villainy. That is published by Evil Hat Productions. It's by Strauss Kibovic, I think, and John LaBeouf Little. Forgive me if I mispronounce your names. And it is a sci-fi game that is forged in the dark. And what I like about it is that it is forged in the dark. I like the Blades in the Dark system. It's narrative in scope, and I feel like it's epic in play. Now, have I played Scum and Villainy? I have not played Scum and Villainy yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. I have played Blades in the Dark, so I know how the system works, and I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to playing more. This system feels like the Blades in the Dark version of Star Wars, particularly, the Han Solo type role-playing game. Speaking of Han Solo role-playing game, this other small book that I have, it's Bulldogs. I'm sorry for these pictures being mirrored backwards, but this is a book, Bulldogs. It's by Brennan Taylor and Galileo Games. It is a Fate Core space opera game. It has been described as Han Solo, the role-playing game. It's a game where you end up in a dead-end contract with a mega corporation delivering dangerous packages across the galaxy, and it's a whole lot of fun. I ran a campaign of this about a year and a half ago. Had a blast. The players had a blast. I eagerly anticipate the next time I get the chance to get this to the table and get it played. But I have lots of games to play, and I have lots of sci-fi games to play. So I'm going to move on to my next one. Look at this big beast. It's over 500 pages long. It's Starfinder by Paizo Publishing. It came out 2 years ago in 2017. I saw it. I actually bought the PDF when it was released. I looked at the pretty pictures, said, "Wow, this is pretty neat. Looks like a streamlined version of the Pathfinder system." But I decided that it wasn't for me. It felt like it was just too heavy. I'll talk about it a little bit more later. But really, it is a solid, robust system. And I have played this. I played this weekend at DragonCon. And I had a lot of fun being a player in it. And that's all I'm going to say about this one right now. I'll show you the next one. By the way, look at that. Look at that cover art. Isn't it great? It's amazing. Eclipse Phase. Now, Eclipse Phase is a pretty fun transhumanism game. I enjoyed running it for a little bit. I feel like, although the system is rather simple, the themes were not something that turned out to be very interesting to me. Don't get me wrong; it's a very interesting game. It's a very interesting system. Great art, great production values, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I would play it again. If I had the opportunity to play, perhaps I would. But I'll just say this: it's not the first sci-fi type game that I would go reaching for if somebody would ask me to run a game or someone gave me a choice of playing games. But it is great. Of course, it's won Origins Awards, it's won any awards, and it well deserves it. So I don't want to knock it. It really is a great game. Just not necessarily for me. Finally, of the games that I actually have in physical version of, this is ESPA Genesis, Heroic Sci-Fi Role-Playing by Alligator Alley Entertainment. It is, much like Starfinder is a version of Pathfinder in space, although it's a little bit streamlined. This is almost a 100% translation of D&D 5e into heroic sci-fi. So I love 5e. I've run a lot of 5e. I have run this ESPA Genesis a couple of times. I've demoed a couple of games. I really enjoy it. I enjoy running this as much as I enjoy running 5e. I actually might enjoy it more because, well, sci-fi doesn't have some of the challenges that fantasy has. Although I have more, I definitely have more game ideas for fantasy than sci-fi. But anyway, ESPA Genesis is pretty great. Now, like I mentioned, I just played Starfinder recently and really decided that I enjoyed it very much. Here's what I got to say about Starfinder. It's pretty much the same thing that I said about Pathfinder First Edition, and I haven't checked out Second Edition yet, but we'll see. I'm sure that they sell the PDF really cheap. So I have told people I really like the Pathfinder system. It's very robust, but I would not ever want to GM it. There's just too much going on for where I am in life right now. If I even were to GM it, I would run a published venture. I definitely would not homebrew anything because it's just a lot of work. It's more work than I care to do right now. Now, when I played 3.5, I was willing to do the work because in a sense, I felt like, because it was D&D. That was the version of D&D to play, the most recent version, the most modern version. Now, especially since I see I have so many other options, I don't have to GM it, so I don't actually remember the last time I actually played Pathfinder, but I enjoyed playing Starfinder. I don't know if I'll ever GM it. Now, ESPA Genesis, on the other hand, I would GM that in a heartbeat because, well, I've played it a lot. I've played a lot of D&D, so I'm very familiar with the system. I can improv encounters really well, just based on the mechanics. I know how the numbers work pretty well, and so I'm certainly willing to run and homebrew ESPA Genesis campaign information. But really, all of those games that I've shown on camera, I like them all. I would totally play them all. I think I would do a better job GMing some of them than others, and so which is what I'm talking about. But they're really great games. And I see why the RPG industry is so hard to get into and so hard to really make a name for yourself and so hard to make a lot of money because there's a lot of competition and there's continuing to be more competition. But I will say that as a consumer, I welcome that stuff. I would love to see more ideas. Because if we didn't have people coming up with their own ideas and making their own systems or tweaking existing systems, just tinkering and creating, we wouldn't have the sheer amount of amazing games that we have today. I think because I have a bunch of superhero games, I might do another video like this for superhero games because it's a genre that I absolutely love and gets even less coverage than fantasy and sci-fi. That's about it. I hope you folks have a great week. And until next time, see you later.